Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetstreets.com, and today we are going to do the quick user review of the Google Nexus 6 which we have with us. This is a premium phablet which you can buy to get the most pure Android experience on this phone. And again, this phone is very fluid when it comes to the software, and I have not seen any other Android phone till date which is as smooth as this is with Android Lollipop. So we will talk about each and everything related to Nexus 6. We will talk about the build quality of this phone. We will talk about how good the display is, how the overall form factor of the device, whether it is heavy, whether it is actually big with 5.9-inch display, whether it is a good value for money phone or not, in case you are looking for a premium phablet out there and you are comparing this phone with the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. We will also tell you in comparison which one is better in which department. So let's start the review, and the first thing which we are going to talk is the build quality. So when it comes to the build quality of Nexus 6 is very good. It has one of the best build quality, and you can actually get an idea on the Moto X 2014 if you have seen that earlier. It has almost the same design which you might have seen on the Moto X 2014. Again, this is kind of bigger as compared to Moto X 2014, and the build quality is very nice. They have given metal on the edges which does make this phone pretty rock solid, and again it does not bend, and this is something I repeat, this phone does not bend, so it does not have any kind of bending issues in case you are trying to find it out. So build quality is very nice with metal being used. It has a metal frame which holds the complete phone together. The front is glass which does have Corning Gorilla Glass protection, so it will not get scratches and fingerprints easily. At the back side you will see plastic which is matte finish plastic, and it is a curved back so that you will get a very good grip when you hold this phone in one hand. Talking about the hardware of Google Nexus 6, it comes with Snapdragon 805 chipset inside, which is a 2.5 GHz quad-core CPU. You have Adreno 420 GPU on this device, and with this much of hardware configuration, this is one of the best hardware you can get on this phone. You can play almost any high-definition games on this device, and the big display this device actually has does give you a pretty fluid experience, a pretty good experience. Either you are watching high-definition movies or you are playing high-definition videos, you can do both of these things pretty nicely on this phone without any kind of UI lag or any performance issues. Now let's talk about the hardware on this phone. We have a 2.7 GHz quad-core CPU on this device, which is Snapdragon 805, which is again one of the best hardware you will get on this phone at this particular price point. You also get 3 GB of RAM, which is again sufficient to make this phone fluid and responsive all the time. When it comes to gaming, you can play high definition games on this phone without any issues. You can also play high definition videos. The big display which this device has, which is 5.9-inch, does give you a very good immersive experience when you play high definition videos or whenever you play high definition games on this phone. So in terms of performance, this is one of the best performance you can get with the software UI, which is very fluid, and again it is running on the latest version of KitKat, which is available right now, which is Android KitKat 5.0. You do get system updates on software updates on this device much faster than any other phone out there, which is going to be an advantage for this phone. And Android Lollipop, which is not yet stable on many Android phones, it is much stable and very fluid on this phone. It has been very nicely customized and optimized to run with this hardware. So in terms of software and hardware, both of these things are pretty good when they actually talk to each other. And talking about the form factor, this phone weighs around 184 gram, and this is something which may be a, you can say, bad point for some people out there, because this phone does feel slightly heavy and also bigger when you hold it in one hand. This is again not a phone which is supposed to be used with one hand. You need to have approximately two hands to actually use it. Most of the time you can hold it in one hand, but it will definitely feel slightly heavier at 184 gram. And also in terms of the overall thickness, it is going to be thicker on in between at the back. Again, it will go slimmer on the edges, so gripping is not a problem. You have a matte finish back cover which is again non-removable, and you can again get a very good grip when you hold this phone because of this back cover, which gives you a very nice grip. Talking about the camera performance of the Nexus 6, I would like to say that Nexus 6 has a pretty good camera at the back, which is a 13 megapixel camera, which can record 4K resolution video and it can take pretty good photos in daylight as well as in low light. When it comes to the performance or the photo clarity you will get on this phone, it is pretty good. Again, it is not great but pretty good for the price. The camera is something which is not great on this phone if you compare it with the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, but in general it can give you pretty decent photos and it can take photos pretty fastly as well. You just need to tap on the screen and the photo will be taken. It is pretty fast in that particular department of taking a photo. When it comes to the front camera is a 2 megapixel camera which is a fixed focus camera and can take pretty good selfies of yours as well, even in low light. So front camera quality is good, rear camera quality is good, but it could have been great. If you compare it with Samsung Galaxy Note 4, the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 has a 16 megapixel camera, whereas this one has a 13 megapixel camera. And if we even forget the megapixels, the picture clarity and the quality of photos in low light as well as in daylight is much better on Samsung Galaxy Note 4 as compared to Google Nexus 6. Talking about the display clarity, the Nexus 6 has a display resolution of approximately 1440 into 2560, which is again going to give you a pretty good pixel density on this 5.9-inch display. So the display does not feel pixelated at all. It is again an AMOLED display, so you will get pretty good viewing angles. Even if you take a look over this display from extreme angles, you can see everything. The discoloration is not happening on this device even when you view the display from extreme angles. So display wise, it is one of the best display you get, and again it is very good in terms of color production as well. Talking about the battery backup, when it comes to battery, the Google Nexus 6 can actually give you a pretty good battery backup of approximately more than 1 day most of the time, even if you are a heavy user. That is the beauty of it. The Android UI, which is the Lollipop UI, which is the stock Android UI, is very fluid. It does have some new features, a new application drawer, a new you can say app drawer as well, and the overall material design which you see on this phone is far more fluid than any other phone out there which might get an Android Lollipop update. So this is something which I would like to say, that this is one of the smoothest experience you will get when it comes to running Lollipop on a phone. It comes to the battery performance, you will get a battery backup of approximately more than 1 day on this device, even if you are a heavy user. It has a battery of 3220, so it is 3220 milliampere hour battery, which is a pretty big battery which they have fit inside this phone, which can give you around 2 days of battery backup easily in case you use the phone for basic to moderate usage. In case you are a heavy user, you will still get more than 1 day of battery backup. So in battery backup department, this can give you a very good battery backup depending on what kind of usage. Now before I conclude this review, I would like to compare the Google Nexus 6 with the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which is its competitor in terms of the price value. This will come for approximately 45,000 rupees, depending if you are buying the 32GB variant or if you are buying the 64GB variant, which is actually not yet available in India. You can buy a Google Nexus 6 from Flipkart, and when it comes to Samsung Galaxy Note 4, you will have to pay a price of approximately 50,000 or slightly more when you buy the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 32GB version. Talking about the overall value for money in between these two phones, in case you want the phone software to be as close to Android as it can be, then you should go for the Nexus 6 in case software UI response is most important to you, because on Samsung Galaxy Note 4, even when it has a pretty good hardware inside, it will give you UI lag, which will not happen very frequently on this phone. So in terms of UI lag, you will notice UI lag on this one before you see anything in terms of UI lag on the Nexus 6. But in case camera is your priority and you want better camera on your phone, both on the front as well as on the rear, then you can go for the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. In that case, Samsung Galaxy Note 4 is definitely better than Google Nexus 6. When it comes to UI, the UI is better over here, but the camera performance is better over here. In terms of the overall hardware performance, the kind of gaming you can do on both of these two phones, both of them are equally capable. They can run high definition games without any issues. When it comes to the display size, the display size is again going to be bigger on the Nexus 6. So in case display size is something which is priority for you, then you can go for the Nexus 6. But again, when you talk about this phone feels slightly heavy, and again it also feels slightly bulky when you hold it in one hand. Especially one-handed usage of the Google Nexus 6 is definitely less as compared to the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which is a better phone, I would say, to be used with one hand, although this one also has a big display, but this one feels better when you hold it in one hand as compared to the Nexus 6, which actually feels slightly heavier and bulky, and maybe it is because of the bigger display size. It definitely is not comfortable when you hold it in one hand or if you use it with one hand. So concluding this review, I would like to say Google Nexus 6 is a very good phone in case software is something which you want. In terms of updates, you want the updates to come on your phone much faster than any other phone. You want the UI responsiveness, you want the UI which should not be over customized, then you can always go for the Nexus 6. And again, in terms of hardware as well, it is a pretty good phone. The only problem I would say for this phone is going to be the camera quality, which is good but not great. But if you want a great camera quality, then you can go for the Samsung Note 4. So that's all from us. Do let us know if you have any specific questions for Google Nexus 6. We would love to help you. You can leave your questions in the comment section below. You can like this video if this video helped you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.